Attack power is at 762. It is decent. It is okay enough to where if you don't really have a high tile damage. Hey, thanks so much for checking out the channel. If you're curious about any other hero in Empires and Puzzles, you can view my website at anchorgame.com. There you will find I've graded every single hero with a calibrated team of graders. This resource will always be free. Thinking about supporting the hero grades and the breakdown videos? You're welcome to donate. Otherwise, feel free to share this resource with a friend. I have my exclusive line group called Anchor Cove, where you gain access to myself and tons of other experienced players with on-demand information and resources. If that piques your interest, all that information is on the opening page of my website with a short video. Let me dive into today's hero breakdown. Hey, thanks so much for checking out the channel. Today we're going to be doing a brand new hero breakdown on Obakan. This looks like Fabio's evil cousin. Look at those long luscious lucks. He's got some big giant pecs. He's coming to throw you around. He's got 762 on his attack, 638 on his defense, and 1328 on his health. Overall, statistically, attack power, it's pretty decent. Defensive, could use some work. He is part of the classic heroes from TC20 that you could potentially get. He is running at fast speed. He deals 260% damage to the target and minor damage to the nearby enemies. The caster counterattacks with 115% damage received for 4 turns. Bonus little statement, this is like my favorite hero that I never could justify giving tabards to. I always wanted to do it. You guys have known in the live streams, it's like my favorite hero that I could never justify doing it. I just think he's got a cool ability, dealing damage, nearby enemies, running at fast speed. Fortunately, he's not all that great. It's pretty sad. This video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. It is a free massive turn-based dark fantasy RPG. To try this game out, all you gotta do, go to the video description, click on the special links. You'll receive 100,000 silver and 1 free champion accolade. All your treasure, it's waiting for you right over here and only available for the next 30 days. He is part of the Barbarian class heroes, which means that he's running for the likes of like Cage Burrito or Gravemaker or Black Knight to grab up those Barbarian emblems. If you aren't really having those, there's a potential maybe you might be throwing them on this dude, but probably not. Probably better to just save it for somebody else. Against the Titan, he is going to get a B+ grade there. The reason why he gets a B+ grade is because his attack power is at 762. It is decent. It is okay enough to where if you don't really have a high tile damage hero, you could potentially put him in that slot. Unfortunately, that's the only redeeming factor when it comes to Titans, is putting him into the high tile damage slot. At 762, there's a lot going on there. But his hero special abilities, not that great. But he is going to get a B+ grade there. When we look at his offensive grade, he is going to get a B grade there. The reason being is there's just a lot better heroes that are out there. It is kind of cool to have him counterattack for 4 turns, but unfortunately, it's such a liability to where it's not really going to be something that you can count on to where they're potentially hitting him. Not to mention he doesn't heal. He is dealing 260% damage, which isn't all that much damage, but it is dealing damage to the target nearby enemies. If you do have him, he could potentially pair well with the likes of Panther or Tibertus, having those heroes to have the defensive down, and then he comes over the top, deals damage to the target nearby enemies. Maybe you could use him. He is going to get a B grade on offense. When we look at his tank grade, he is going to get a B+ grade there. Unfortunately, he does have a little bit of an issue with his defensive stats. They're not all that impressive, but I do like that he does counterattack, and he also is dealing damage to the target nearby enemies, and then also running at fast speed. Problem is, he doesn't have a lot of life total, so if you're doing that, you are potentially making it so damage is dealt to him, but if you're going to put him on defense, you got to make sure you heal him as well. So he does have a B+ grade there that could definitely flex into B grade, but I would say that he is fringe playable in the tank. When we look at his flank grade, he is going to get a B- grade there. The reason being is typically in the flank grade, you want to have a hero that is going to be dealing damage to multiple enemies over like a further amount than just the 260% damage. I'm not a really big fan of him being in the flank. I think that there's a lot better heroes that are in purple that you could be flanking with. He does have the potential to be running in the wing. He is a B grade there, with him being a fast hitter. Hitting the target nearby enemies could be useful. I think that maybe his tank grade might flex down into a B. I think where he's most serviceable is in the tank or in the wing. I'm not a big fan of the flank, but overall defensively, he is going to get a B grade. When we look at his weekly raid grade, he is going to get a C on rush attack. The reason being is that purple just has a lot better heroes that are now running at very fast speed. Even the likes of like Costume Tubertus, I would pick him over Obakan in the rush attack because you're just dealing a lot more damage. With him already running at fast speed, it doesn't factor into too much. I'm not a big fan. He is going to get a C grade on rush attack. On buff, he is going to get a B grade there. Just being that he is running at fast speed, he can impact the board, he can deal damage, multiple enemies, does help out quite a bit, and then he also is setting it up so he has a counterattack which gives you a little bit of a buff in buff attack. On Bloody Battle, he is going to get a B grade there. Just being now that he's running it fast, he can hit for a decent amount of damage, and then he is also counterattacking. Obviously, you're not worried about healing because that doesn't factor into things. So he is going to get an overall grade of a B. Unfortunately, this hero isn't the greatest. I absolutely loved this guy. When he first came out, I was a really big fan of him. I really wanted him. I just never ever could justify giving the tabards to him. Could be a fun little niche hero if you don't really have many options. But ultimately, I think that there are a lot better options in purple. So thanks so much for watching this content. Please make sure you subscribe, you turn notifications on, and I'll see you on the next video.